The Sarstoon incident on Saturday, March 12 is one that brought about many speculations and questions as they relate to just what exactly transpired that day between the Guatemalan armed forces and the Belize military, as well as what led to that point. As we had reported in a previous newscast, the incident on Saturday occurred just after 6 o'clock when dark had just set in. But prior to that, there were two other encounters that same week. Today we spoke with BDF Commander David Jones on these incidents.
There was an encounter on Tuesday actually where our vessel was intercepted, and the message was passed by the Guatemalan officer on the boat that we're not abiding by the protocol, which means for them that we should inform them when we're going to Cadenas. And our officers just took the information and passed it to me. On Friday, our vessel did a changeover to Cadenas, and they weren't aware that we were doing the changeover, so they viewed that as an incident for them, that we violated their territory. We believe it's our territory, and we believe we can go back and forth whenever we wish without having to inform them. So, and that's where the conflict is. We did not give the figure as to how many soldiers were there, and we're not going to give the figure how many soldiers were there. It was all BDF, that I can tell you. It was only BDF on the ground. When the Guatemalans that was there on the vessel, it was about 8 of them that went across. They did not want to leave. However, after I got all the information from the patrol commander on the ground there, I informed, as I mentioned, I informed our CEO, our minister, Prime Minister was informed, and then I subsequently spoke to the Guatemalan general and informed him that their troops are over on the Belize side, and it could potentially lead to conflict because it is seen as an aggressive posture towards our troops. And could he do something to de-escalate the situation now? And he said, yes, he will deal with it now. And he said he's going to instruct the officers there who is in command of those troops to have the troops withdraw. And so he was the one I presume had given the order, because it was about 5 to 10 minutes after I spoke to him, the boat left the area. And so there wasn't an issue after that.
As Commander Jones mentioned, the point of contention for the Guatemalans is the fact that the Belize Defense Force is not making them aware of their plans to go into the river, particularly during the changeover of shifts in the Sarstoon area. As you will hear in the upcoming insert, the Belize Defense Force had changed their routine due to the interference of the Belize Territorial Volunteers.
Well, we did have a set time when we used to go through there in the past, and that was for administrative reasons. It was easy for us to do changeovers. But because of the additional tension when the BTV started to follow our vessel, we changed the timings so as to avoid additional conflict. Because then they would be worried about the BDF going through there and also worry about other civilians going through there. So to avoid that additional friction, we just staggered our time, and we kept the timings to ourselves when we go through there. And that's the reason why they are not aware when we go through. So they view it as if though we should inform them. We don't believe we should, but we should come up to a resolution as to a protocol that goes through there, so that whenever we are in there, we're not interfered with, and we don't interfere with them in the river as well. And we also don't interfere with their civilians when their civilians are doing fishing in the area. And the same for Belizeans. If Belizeans are using the river, we don't want them to be interfered with as well.
The incident has come and gone, and there is yet to be a definitive solution in place that will keep these incidents from reoccurring. In addition to that, there is a contradictory response coming out of the Guatemala's Foreign Affairs Unit as it relates to what really transpired on Saturday. It does pose some challenges, and Commander Jones says the best way forward in the interim of a final solution is to have a meeting with the leaders from both sides.
The best way to resolve that is to have the political leaders, the military leaders, and the tactical people who are in charge of the troops on the ground to sit down and discuss it, so that when we leave the table, everyone is fully aware of what is expected. So we suggested, after I had the meeting with the Guatemalan general, we had suggested that it would be good to have the ministers of foreign affairs present, the ambassadors from both countries, the 2 military leaders, and of course the resident commanders of the tactical units on the ground at the same table, which I believe is a good suggestion for us to sit down and discuss what we would like to achieve, so that when we agree on a protocol, everyone is aware. That has never been done, and I think that would be the best forward to have a protocol established when it's decided that we should have a protocol.